So in my hands, I'm holding two different samples of two different physical products that I've created for my business. And in this video, I want to not only show you how I've created these products, but also I want to share with you why I've chosen the products that I've chosen and how they are going to help me grow my business. I'm going to share with you the 6 steps I took to go from an idea to creating a finished product. So let's get started. The very first step has been to look at my product choice. Over the years, I've created a lot of different physical products. Some you find behind me. I've also guided a lot of people to create their very own physical products. So I had a lot of ideas of what I could potentially create, but I wanted to make sure that I was very intentional in my product choice. I didn't want to simply take an idea and go right into creating a product. I wanted to make sure that it was very intentional. So the way for me to choose a product was to really consider what the role of that product was going to be for my business. Now, I have 2 different types of business. I have a product-based business where I sell physical products, and I also have an expert business where I help people with manufacturing and production. So my main goal was to create a funnel. I wanted to funnel more people into my world, sell more products, and in order to do this as intentionally as possible, what I thought about is, okay, what do I want this product to do? I wanted the product to lead into high ticket offers that I have, like my manufacturing offers. I also wanted my products to give my clients result and act as a support. Another thing that the product should also do is show the credibility and also my standard, my quality requirements, and the way that I created the content to show that I know what I'm talking about and position myself in my market as an expert in that field. Because there's one thing that I believe very deeply in, that you want to have something that is evergreen and that helps you build trust. Because one thing that I've seen over the years is that if you focus on compounding in your business, you will have very different return. Have a product that is going to really build trust. I believe that especially in today's world where things are super fast, we see AI coming in, we have lots of digital offers, and something fascinating is happening in a market where a big portion of experts, coaches, and so on are starting to look more like clones. It's very similar. People are using similar tools for their content creation. For me, it was very important to create something that builds trust, breaks a pattern, and truly shows my values and what I stand for. And I didn't want to have a digital offer that, ages like milk, where you have to create a new thing all the time. I thought of I want to have something really evergreen that is going to build trust, because this way it can compound over time and can give exponential results over time, and something that I don't have to change every other day. Another reason why I love that it's physical as well is because it kind of goes against the trend of everything being digital. With that, it breaks a pattern. So these were the roles that I thought I wanted my products to help me with. Now, I shared with you earlier that I looked at my funnel and I looked at a top of a funnel and a bottom of the funnel. So bottom of the funnel for me is someone who already knows they want to create a physical product. This is where this product comes in. This product helps a person that wants to learn how to create a product, how to build a concept, how to think of the content, how to find a manufacturer. It has basically my whole method in here and helps the person. Now, this is a very niche product that goes to a smaller audience, a smaller bit of my funnel, the bottom of the funnel. Here, this works very well with higher ticket offers that I have, because I have offers that help people manufacture their products through group purchasing and supporting them in manufacturing, communicating with manufacturers on their behalf. So this is one offer where this works very well. Now on the other side, I have created a top of the funnel product where people are business owners, but they most likely don't want to create a physical product just yet. Possibly they could at some point, but maybe they will never, and that is okay, because this product was more to create an additional income while I am building a personal brand with it. So in a way, I am creating a hybrid between my expert business and also my product business. This was now how I thought of the strategic role of both products that I wanted to create for my businesses. And this still didn't give me a clear idea of what was going to go inside the product. So let's go into that a little bit deeper and let me show you how I came to my final conclusions of what products to choose. By the way, if you want to watch the brainstorming session that I did it on a live stream on YouTube. You can find it. I will be tagging it in this video or putting it in the description below. It's a YouTube video where I'm going through the process of brainstorming and thinking of product ideas, and I'm just talking out loud all the different things as well. So you might find that very helpful at this point of time. So let's get back to how I made the choice of what exactly was going to go inside the product. To figure out what was going to go inside of the product, I thought about who do I want to help and what is the problem that I want to solve. How do I want to solve it? Who do I want to help with? And what do I want to help them with? So this product here was based on what I've been teaching people for the past few years. After I gained success with my physical product business, I've made over $4 million in sales with journals, planners, affirmation cards, and so on. People started asking me how to do it, and I created Impact Stationery Creators, where I teach people how to do this. So this product was born out of the desire to support my existing members, having a physical product that guides them step by step, while at the same time attracting new people, helping them with productizing their method, and then potentially they could also get help with manufacturing if they desire or not. Now this meant that the problem that I was helping people with is, how do I even get started with creating my very own product? How do I choose my own product? How do I create the content? How do I design it? This was the problem that I was solving here. For the second product, this is a business planner for business owners, and what I'm helping here with is a problem that I've been experiencing myself again and again, is that you work endlessly and you feel like you're not making a lot of progress. And this includes two guiding principles that I find have been some of the most influential in my own business. That is return on effort, looking at what are the actions that give me the return that I desire, and the compounding effect. This planner not only helps you plan your short-term actions, things that will give you a return, helps you figure out what are the things that actually give you a return, but while keeping all the actions that will give you a return, but much later, so that you do both. Because I believe that to have a successful business, you need a mix of both, because the compounding is going to be what eventually is going to give you that overnight success, right? Like how people tend to call it, which usually is not an overnight success, it's usually a compounding effect. But the short-term actions where you have like a shorter feedback loop and are equally important for your business. So this planner helps you plan your quarters, your months, identify what your main constraint is, and it helps you plan daily. This is a product that I created for myself as much as I am creating it for other business owners. Over the past few years, I've made with both of my different types of businesses over $6 million. I still get so easily sucked into like busy work, feeling like, oh my goodness, this month, this quarter, I didn't make any progress. I went backwards, like all of these things. And every time I realize it's because I lost sight of what actually moves the needle. And this is the product that not only is going to help other business owners stay on track, really understand what am I doing that is giving me progress, am I keeping the compounding things, because compounding can also happen in a negative way. So I experienced that too. I stopped doing the things that I didn't realize made that big of a difference, and then I noticed it much later that, oh no, I stopped doing that 6 months ago, now I'm feeling it. So this is a product that helps with that. Now this is how I made the choices of my product. Once I had my product choice, that's when I moved on to the second step of the 6 steps that I took. And that was to outline and write the copy. I never just dive in right into designing a product. I need to have all the words that go into the product first. And I do that by outlining what needs to go into the product. Before outlining any type of product, I always think of the same. What is the problem that I'm solving? And what is the desire? And the way that I map this out for me is by looking at point A and seeing how I can help people to get to point B. And what helps the person make that progress is my product. In this case, the problem before is, I don't know how to create a physical product. I don't even know if I have an idea to create a physical product. What is my method? I don't even know if I have a method. How can I help people? I would love to have a physical product, but I just don't know how. The desire is, I want to have a beautiful, well done, and useful physical product that is going to generate income, that is going to help me get new clients, and so on. And this product in between is what bridges A to B. For this product, let's do another example. Business owner that has made progress, has already grown, but still feels like they're running in circles oftentimes. They feel like they're stuck in busy time and they want to grow more. The desire is growing, understanding what are the needle moving things, focus also on the long-term things and build some consistency. This is what the product is helping with. Now, the way that I started outlining this is by thinking of milestones. This is a product that you follow step by step, one step at a time. So I thought, okay, what are the different steps? And I mapped them out step by step. What is it that the person needs to do in order to have a finished sample in their hand and have created all the content, the design, the concept, identified what their method is, identified what type of product they want to have, a step-by-step product, a game, affirmation cards. Maybe they even thought of multiple products that they could create. Now, in your case, what you want to think about is like, who are you helping with? What's the problem? Where are they before? What's the A? Where do they want to go? And what are the steps that you would recommend them to do? And what is your method? When I talk about what's your method, a lot of people get tripped up. So the way that I would like you to think about it is like, what is your way of doing things? If someone comes with a problem and you know what the desire is, what is your way of guiding them? What do you suggest them do? How do you help them? What is it that you do yourself? Sometimes the very best products are the products that we want to create for ourselves or a younger version of ourselves. And don't worry if you feel like you might not have a method. When I got started, I didn't think that I have a method. I only figured it out as I was creating it. So one of my very first products was this ADHD planner. And I have ADHD. I decided I want to create a product that I can use myself. I knew some products that worked well for me, others that didn't. I knew what I needed, what I didn't, and I created a product based on that. Now, Was it like a unique methodology? No, it was a unique interpretation of what I thought I needed, and it was my way of wanting to do things. And this is how I created my very first planner, even though I didn't consider myself an ADHD expert. I didn't realize I have like quote unquote a method. I just knew that this was the way that I wanted to plan my day, and it was just the way that I was wanting to do things that I put into this product. So once we've outlined, that's when we go into the actual copy and content. With copy, I mean all the text that you would put in, like what are the instructions that you would give them, what are different prompts that you would guide them through, what are exercises that you want them to do. That's what you write down. I always write them down in like a Google Doc so that I can then pass it on for design. So our third step is moving on to design and positioning of the product. This is so cliche, but they always say don't judge a book by its cover, and we all know, yes, we all judge a book by its cover, which is why it's really important that we think of like how do we want to present the product. I think a well-made product can have such a great effect on trust, a personal brand building, on credibility, and also on how effective it is for the person because of the usability. The same can happen in the other way around. If the design is not well made, if it looks cheap, if it's totally all over the place, then the product can have an opposite effect where it does not add any trust. It just makes one feel like, wow, you didn't really put a lot of effort into this. So what I thought about design for my product, to me it was very important that it has an elegant look and that it is not too busy. So I wanted to have, you'll see a lot of breathing room on those pages, room for you to write, to think about, to answer questions without feeling visually totally overwhelming. That was very important to me. It was very intentional as well. Before I even thought of going into design, I created myself a little Pinterest board. I wanted to see what is it that I like. I'm already exposed to a lot of journals, so I had a few journals at home that I was looking at. What did I like? What did I want my product to look like? And what you can do here is you can explore sites like Pinterest, even Amazon, and you can also go to a physical store and look at like different types of products and see like, okay, what is the style I want to go for? Do I want to be like super playful? Do I want to be like more serious? Do I want to be more elegant? Do I want to be edgy and new? Do I want to be, is the product going to be for children? Do I want it to be very colorful? Do you want it to be very feminine, very soft? And also if it is supposed to fit into a expert business that you have, you want to think of like, okay, what's your branding? How can that fit into the branding that you already have? The way that I've done this, because this product is linked to my service business and to my membership and all of that, to my digital businesses, I wanted the look to match that. So we made sure that it fits, like the fonts fit, the colors fit, and that it didn't feel like a total different brand. Like it had to match. This is how we approach this. I often get the question, who do you design with? I work with a designer, and this does cost a little bit extra to do it. Like if you're very talented in design, you can also do it yourself on Canva. I am not, and I knew how important it was to make it look right and well. This is the reason why I also invested into a designer. Now, creating your physical product is definitely not like a shiny new object, something quick, something that happens overnight. It does require lots of thought, and it also requires some investment. So this is also the time where people ask me a lot about like, okay, how much does it cost? So I like to calculate with the manufacturing, with the design work, with shipping, with trademarks and all of the shebang that you need, I would calculate with $10,000 is the most realistic. You can do it for less, but I think with $10,000 you can do it really well. I see it as not only an investment into my personal brand, in this case, into building my business, but I know what great strategic leverage this can be. And also margins are quite good, because if I'm talking about $10,000, I am not ordering just a few, I'm ordering thousands of products here as well. And there are also ways where you can use a pre-order to fund some of that as well, but I find it's very important not to save too much on a design, because it will have such an effect on how well it will sell and how much that product truly does benefit your business overall. This brings us to the next bit, which is materials. So as you think of design, you'll also start thinking about, okay, how do I want this product to look like from the outside? What type of materials do I want? Do I prefer it to be hardbound? Do I prefer it to be spiral? Like here I have a spiral. You'll see I have a clear tendency for and a preference for like linen covers. I think that they look a lot more elegant, and I think they can have a higher perceived value while they don't increase manufacturing costs. Then there are like these faux leathers. Here I have lots of different versions, and I look at textures, I look at what are the different accessories that I would like to have in the product. So here I have a ribbon. What do I want to have on the cover itself? So here we see like this embossing design that we decided to do that says method. We have a gold, just like a bronze color stamping, and this is right now a sample, so we might change this color just a slightly bit, I think just slightly lighter, and we might just change the background just a little bit. But overall I'm really pleased, and we are looking at how to put the logo. Here we decided to just emboss it, which I think looks really nice. We looked at the paper, so I've chosen a cream color paper instead of like a bright white color. Here with the table you see the contrast to like a bright white. I thought that it adds some elegance there too and increases the perceived value. So these are the things that I've looked at. I looked at cover materials, accessories, paper thickness. So here we have 100 GSM, which I think is a good thickness. It's not too thick, not too thin. You have a very slight show through, which is always going to be, but it's so slight you can still work very, very well. And I think it's just a good balance of the paper being thick enough, it feels good, it feels like high quality without making it too thick, too heavy. Also, I thought with this product here, I didn't want the product to be too thick, because I think that makes you feel like, oh my god, that's a lot, it's so heavy. Like a planner can be a lot thicker because I'm planning for more time. But if I have a workbook that is equally as thick, it makes me think from the get-go, oh my god, am I even able to do this? This is a lot. So I didn't want the process to be intimidating, because truly this is something that you can do. We have a lot of people in our communities that have created their very own products following this method. We got a lot of people that created their products while using this, and this is definitely something that is achievable, doable, and there's so many different ways that you can also do it. Once you got the inspiration and clarity of what materials you would like to use, and ideally you just take some photos, videos on your phone, and you can put that all into a file. So once you have a manufacturer and you've contacted a manufacturer, I have a separate video where I go a little bit more in depth into this because it would just take too long to explain this in this video. But once you have a manufacturer, that's when you go and communicate all of your desires and preferences with the manufacturer. Now, sometimes it's going to be the case that you realize, okay, all the ideas that I have might end up being way too expensive. And here what you can do is you can always ask, what is the standard sizing that they print? What would make the product more affordable? What are the changes? What could you do? Because sometimes it might be that like one specific accessory that you've chose or one specific custom size that you've chosen that adds to an extra cost when truly you could use a standard size, let's say an A5 size. This is a B5 size, which are standard sizes. Sometimes when you just make it an inch or half an inch longer or so, you add a lot to the cost when truly you could use a standard size. And this is where communicating with your manufacturer is going to be the most helpful. To identify, okay, are they having the choices that I want? Is this a product that I want to pursue? This is then the sample I want to create. That brings us to the very last point, which is the sample creation. In my case, I already have manufacturers that I work with. I run a manufacturing group purchasing collective, basically where we order products together and we get really good pricing and we get to work with manufacturers. Some of them we've worked with already for over 6 years. So what we will do is we will create a sample. This product here that you're seeing is a sample. It's not the finished product. It's for me to see the prototype and see what changes I want to make. And I can tell you right away, there are some changes that I want to make. For example, here I want to turn this around. So as I'm laying this and take a photo, this would be not on its head. There are a few more things that we are going to change here. We realize we can move this slightly more over. There are a few small changes that we are making to the content, because once you receive the product, that's when you see, oh, okay, I want to do something different. Because every time I receive a sample, the sample's goal for me is to, one, see what's my first impression. How do I like it? How does this product show on photos? 2, how does it feel in my hand? Do I like the paper? Do I like the cover? Do I like the overall feel? And then 3, what I look like is the usability. I will go through the product and I will test it. I can show you one of my tests here. This is the sample of the business planner, where I am pasting all these different post-its, where I am saying, okay, I want to change here something to the text. I want to change here something to the text. And I am going through this and using it. So here I went through the initial sites and I'm seeing a few things that I want to change. And then what I'm doing over the next days and even weeks, I'm going to use it. So here I already started putting some things in. It's not yet fully, and I'm testing it. So here I'm filling out the calendar and I'm starting to use this to see, are there any things that I would want to change, because now I can, before I go fully into manufacturing the product. This also gives me the possibility of doing something else, which is really fun, which is really great, and that is creating a pre-order. So a pre-order in this case means that I have these products ready as a sample and I'm offering people to be able to purchase them already, and they get an advantage. So what I decided to do is to do something fun and to give like a very special promotion. So I have a membership that is usually $111 a month. I am giving a yearly access, so 12 months for a discount of $777. So people can join yearly for $555, and on top they get both products as a gift sent to them. This is a short offer for just a week, and then after that what we will do, what I will be offering until the end of the month, is the possibility of being able to purchase the bundle, both products as a pre-order for $99, and there is a bonus that people get for it. This is the pre-order that I'm doing for both of these products. Our manufacturers right now are going to be on holidays until the end of the month, so that gives me until the end of the month to collect pre-orders, and then we start manufacturing early March, and then we will be shipping out these products to people in May. So it definitely is something where people have to wait a little bit, but they get a lot of extra perks when they pre-order the product. That was the whole roadmap of how I went from idea to creating my physical products, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye!